intensity.
I think we need to bring this powerlifting back.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, there was a lot of energy.
You would see all the busted capsules and syringes and
Oh
shit.
my gosh, yeah.
No one cared. It was just that's an interesting thing about powerlifting. How there is a drug tested federation, and there's non-drug tested, but like people just they kind of don't care. Like some people choose
Stay
to lift.
in your lane.
Yeah, some people choose to lift this way. Some people, I guess, what people do hate is when people lie, right? And when they come into the drug tested and they're taking shit, and they try
now
to slip
it's
one
a
past
different
everybody.
culture. It's more. It's not drug tested. You're supposed to be drug free, which there's a big difference from that to the old days, because I was guilty of that in the old days.
Yeah, drug tested meant drug tested back
It's like
then.
everyone was jacked and just trying to pass a test, and nowadays it's more.
You got to get on mic a little bit more right there. Yeah.
Nowadays it's more drug free.
Right. Yeah, I remember that with the some of the Russian lifters when they started hitting these huge lifts, and like Yarambash and some of these guys were hitting these huge lifts, and then it wasn't too much longer that they got booted out. You had all kinds of weird stuff happen in your powerlifting career.
Yeah.
There's the Ed Coan squat rule. You can't have the bar too low on your back, right?
And it was funny when they got that was in Philadelphia, and they red lighted me, and I actually took off my shirt, went over to the jury and showed them the line with blood marks on it that was sitting on top of my back delts, and they all just went, they looked the other way. They didn't want to see the truth.
You should have pulled your pants down. They could have really seen the truth then.
I would have really got red lights.
No, they would have given you white. They would have felt bad for you.
They would have put me. I did lift with the women later then.
Oh my God. And then also you, I remember when I was a kid, I was trying to follow whatever I could, and it was just through Powerlifting USA, and me and my brother would read it. Occasionally you'd end up in like Muscle and Fitness and stuff too, and we were super excited for that. But I think there was one time Powerlifting USA, it said like you were banned from powerlifting.
Yeah.
And we were like, what? This can't be. Like
Just
we were
from the
like,
IPF.
we were like really sad. Like we were like, what's gonna happen with powerlifting? Like who even cares about sport anymore? The best guy, they ban him because he's too strong. What's going on here? What happened with some of that stuff?
I failed a drug test or two, and that's really what it was.
And they just booted you out of the.
Yeah, pretty much. And
They gave you a lifetime ban, didn't they?
Yeah, some of it was. I'll take the heat for what I did.
Right.
But there was the last instance where I really wasn't run according to how it was.
Right.
Your A sample gets split to A and B. Your one sample, and they opened up the A sample twice. Well, you can't open up it twice, but they still went there. But back in those days, the IPF would say, "Well, we're going to follow IOC rules, but as promulgated by the IPF," which meant we're going to do things the way we want, even though we say we're going to do it the other, so they can never be wrong. And back in those days, it was just, okay, I was banned for life. Well, come 20-something years later, now they're saying, well, you can't even go to an Ed Coan seminar. But see, that wasn't an IPF rule then.
Have they let up on that now?
Yes and no. They say it to other athletes behind closed doors because, like in Sweden and other places, like I'm still the devil to certain people. And like in Kuwait, when we were just there, at least 15 people wouldn't come over from Dubai because they were afraid what they were told from the IPF people over there.
Does that hurt you?
Yeah.
Like, does that kind of hurt?
Yeah, because it's done on personal, because they mentioned me out by name.
Yeah.
But see, it wasn't an IPF rule then, so I didn't violate an IPF rule. And they're saying, well, we uphold WADA rules. But see, WADA wasn't even invented yet for 2 years later. So actually, it really is bad. And
right.
I've contemplated getting a lawyer a lot, and I got a really good one that
Yeah.
and who actually said, I could take care of this for you really easy.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine who's an FBI agent.
Nothing better than a mean lawyer.
Yeah.
They go overboard where you're like, whoa, like, hey, just...
yeah, one that knows what he's doing. And, even a friend of mine who's an FBI supervisor, and he's actually a U.S. attorney, assistant U.S. attorney also, is he says, well, these federations and stuff get a lot of leeway because no one challenges them. Well, a federation or an association can have any rule they want, but it will never, ever trump the U.S. law and Constitution. So they can do all things they want, but if it's illegal, it's illegal. And I've actually been treated really bad. It's been 22 years, and they still mess with me. And actually, I had a conversation before with the IPF president and another guy, a technical director, and they actually admitted to me that they know that, but they're afraid of what some countries might do and say. But they're just trying to work their way into the IOC, and they're using their tough stance on me. But if and when I decide to end it, it'll end really bad.
Yeah, what do they even gain from that?
Nothing. Nothing. It's just that they need someone to pick on who's still a big name.
When you were in your prime, we had it was geared powerlifting. There was some people, I guess, would choose to lift raw. Some people would make a decision.
Very, very few.
Because they maybe just didn't like something or didn't.
I mean, back in the old days, the gear was a lot different, but it still helped.
Yeah.
Why would you not use it?
From what I remember,
competition is going to use it.
Right. From what I recall is the only people that didn't wear powerlifting gear were the pussies. They were new and they were not strong, and they didn't want to commit to wearing the stuff because they were kind of scared to wear any of the suits or anything. But the squat suits back then, from some of the stuff I heard, they were just passed around sometimes in the warm-up room. One guy would just bring them in. I guess it was George Zangus. It was one of the first,
the old marathon suits.
One of the first squat suits, right? And he just came to the warm-up room and he was kind of handing them out, and guys almost like a slingshot.
He did that the first time when he came out with his own double gold line knee wraps. As he came to the Nationals with a whole bunch of them, and gave them all lifters in the back.
So people tried them that day, and they were like, "Oh, this is cool. I'm gonna wear." And then they wore it on the platform, and they were able to squat 30, 40 more pounds.
There was less learning curve, but it still gave you support. So everyone used it.
But I thought it was cool that no one cared.
No one did care.
No one was like, "Hey, you can't." It was just like
cheater.
It wasn't like today. If you open up your stance in a deadlift, you're cheating.
Yeah. I think that actually started off as a joke, and now it just kind of.
It gets a little serious sometimes.
Said by guys that couldn't sumo.
I remember watching a lot of these videos. We're watching you squat 981 pounds in a meet. I mean, this is always just unbelievable to watch you. You're always aggressive on the way down, and the speed which you go down is almost identical to the speed at which you come back up. But I remember as a kid trying to watch these videos, I remember being super excited. I was I'm going to watch.
Video Doug Furness that's Doug Furness's butt right there.
I remember this video. This is a really cool video.
I'm glad you remember his butt.
I do.
Is it? So this is no wait. This isn't the. Is this the meet where you pull conventional at the end or no?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay. That looked familiar.
And
you hurt your hip, right?
No. I actually had torn my adductor, and I decided to in 1 year, and I decided, well, what the hell? Why don't I see what I can do conventional?
That guy next to you is huge too. Look, guys.
There's the guy with the white shirt is John Binkowski. He was about 375 there, and he
benched 600 pounds at least. Look at that.
Oh yeah. And the guy in back was Tom Milanovich, the old owner of Quads. He used to do a bunch of movies and stuff.
Oh yeah. He's some of those old videos where you guys are by the fireplace and stuff.
Yeah.